Hey everybody, Chris Rocheleau here, founder of the Next Level Mastermind Intensive and creator of the Epic Story Hack. Right now, I'm out here at my house and just wanted to shoot a quick video for you and invite you to something. Chilling out here on the deck, loving the stream behind me in my house, and this is my favorite place to be in the whole world, so I just wanted to invite you in real quick and show you my world a little bit. I live up here in the mountains in Colorado. I love snowboarding. This is why I live here. I'm surrounded by all the greatest mountains in the world here, in my opinion, and most of my days allow me to just go and snowboard because of building my network marketing business. And so what I'm going to do is actually come inside and show you a little bit about what I've got going on for you and the free live webcast that I'm going to invite you to, because what I've done is build a business the way that a lot of people didn't think was possible, or didn't trust, or didn't believe, because it kind of combines a lot of the age-old wisdom, but then we applied it online the way a lot of people never really learned. And so what I'm going to do here for you is show you a way that you can actually build trust and engage people and tell stories and do that kind of thing, for your business, for your network marketing business. And I'm going to show you what you're going to learn here, okay? So what I've got is called the EPIC Story Hack. And EPIC is an acronym for, engage, present, illustrate, convert. And what that comes down to is, how to engage your followers, how to engage your prospects, and, present the problem, showing them, hey, here's the problem. I know you have this problem. Let's reach out to you and let's illustrate to you the solution through your company, through your product, whatever the case may be, and illustrate it so that you understand that your solution works, and then we convert them into reps. So essentially what this comes down to, this quick live webcast is going to be, from the studio, where I'm going to show you how to effectively engage your prospects online, present the necessary problem, and easily illustrate your company's solution and convert them into your reps at will. And that's the cool part, because personally, there is a lot of people out there that use things that they don't believe in people. They use techniques that mislead people, and there's a big, huge part of people that quit easily, and you can't keep them in your system, and you have a lot of people quitting and attrition and all that stuff. And I found a way to do that because, honestly, in my primary company, I've been able to have the highest upgrade rates, the highest customer values, and so because of that, with retention as well, I've been able to build an amazing business that's allowed me to have a multiple six-figure income and live up here in the mountains doing exactly what I love any day that I want. So what I want to do for you real quick now is really get to what I'm going to break down for you, because there's a few things that let me walk you through and show you how this ties into everything in your business, and you're actually going to learn a few other things other than just story stuff, right? But this is very, very important to understand when it comes to your network marketing business and being able to do this thing online like top producers, okay? So the first part is obviously, the biggest part is your why. And your why is the desire. You've got to have that. You've got to understand, what's your motivation for doing this, and you've got to hold on to that and focus on that. Big top producers maintain their focus. Most people never do. They kind of, get sidetracked easily and get upset easily and quit easily, and so you've got to have the desire in there. But we all know that, right? So this next part really is the know-how, which comes down to how you can market online, which is have how to send emails, how to log in and fill out forms on the internet, how to write content, how to create videos and upload them to YouTube, that type of stuff that most of you have learned, some of you struggle with but are getting help with, and we'll show you how to do that too. So the know-how is a big part. That's kind of the next pillar. This is like a ladder, kind of a spiral staircase if you want to look at it like that, okay? And then the next thing is the strategy. And what I mean by the strategy is your plan of action. It's really your area where you're playing, where you're marketing your content, and what you're doing every day to expose your messaging and your messages and your content to people on the internet so that you can bring them through your, to your opportunity. Now, you've got to have that, and we talk about that. However, what I found is that if you didn't have this next thing, everything else falls apart and nothing sticks. So the biggest part here is, of course, the story. Now, some of you may have been on webinars and hangouts and conference calls where you hear the same leader tell their story every single time. And funny enough, you're like, oh my God, I've heard this. I don't want to hear this again. Well, the funny thing is, if you think back to the first time you heard that, you were inspired by that. And that's one of the reasons why you're still there on that call. And although it may not necessarily be impactful for you the 30th time you've heard it, however, they're telling that for the new person, which you need to be able to do as well, because this business is constantly about bringing in the new person, right? Which you can do effectively here. So once you learn how to actually do that story, which is huge, which I'm going to show you the hack here in a second for that. I'm actually going to show you that hack. Then everything else gets easy. Because once you have the strategy to expose your story, then you can get into understanding that all the relationships you build, okay, in your team and the people that are there so that you can upgrade and keep the retention and how they're going to continue to buy more products in your company and upgrade to the highest package, right? And then from there, you've got to have your system where, you know, you bring them through this process and you get them involved in the team, and you have this whole system that you help them use to become a top producer, and you can plug into other systems. You know, as long as you have your story, this is the major part. And once you have all that, then you can just automate things. And this is how top producers seem to make a lot of their money effortlessly. So this is essentially the structure of, you know, your why. You got to know how to do this. You got to have your strategy of marketing. You got to have your story, which is huge, because if people don't have this, then essentially they don't have any reason to stick around and understand where you're coming from or where you're going. And you've got to cast that vision based on what you've been through. That's how you build trust. That's how this works. I've done my whole business like this and always been able to tell my story. And this is why I've created multiple six-figure income in my primary company just this last time around, and I've made a lot more online. I'll tell you about that in a sec. But also, you know, once you go to here, these other things are awesome. But what I want to focus on right now is the story, because the rest starts to fall into place once you have this. This starts to come pretty easily once you have the story. So what I'm going to do for you is show you actually the framework itself. And this framework is actually, you know, just like I showed you, there's 4 sections: how to engage, present, illustrate, and convert. And you'll see here that, you know, obviously there's a couple ways to do this. You can do this in a blog post, in an email, in a social media post, even in a video. And, you know, essentially you just have to understand these elements of like headline, subheadline, you know, and how to target the right level of awareness, and we'll talk about that stuff. And, you know, the open loop, which is essentially the setting the stage and helping people understand why they're there. And this is the story about how you learned this or that, or was able to accomplish this, or watch someone else do it, because this is the cool part, is you can do this for other people as well. You can actually use other people's stories to build your business. I'll show you how to do that on this live webcast. So the cool part is, you know, your story, your struggle and problems, and values clarification. Talk a little bit about that later. But, you know, what people value. Just understand that for now, okay? And then the next part is, you know, your journey of discovery and how you figured it out, and your clarification again, and then your revelation, what you found, and then just breaking it down for people. We'll show you how to do frameworks. And from there, you know, that's illustrating the actual solution. But then your call to action, which is how to convert people. And that's the cool part. Now, once you have this story, you can plug it into a lot of systems that may have already been provided for you in your primary network marketing company, or a system or a front-end system that you use in order to, you know, sponsor into a system. But this is the part where you have the difference between system versus personality or character, where they're going to join you for you, and knowing that you can bring them the results that they're looking for rather than just the company, so they stick with you, okay, and stick around. So that's what I have for you right now, is essentially the Epic Story Hack. We're going to do this live webcast Wednesday night at, we're doing 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, that's 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central. And for those of you outside of the U.S., convert that. You'll be able to convert that from those times, and let's see you there. We're going to be in the studio showing you all this, doing a couple hours of showing you how all of this works, and you'll also be able to get more information on how the rest of this stuff works as well. And the cool thing is, you know, I've used this stuff to build, you know, like I said, multiple six-figure incomes. I've gotten on webinars and used these structures to be able to make over $27,000 in a day. You know, results not typical, but that's the type of stuff that's possible when you know how to do this effectively. And that's what I want to show you Wednesday night on the live webcast for the Epic Story Hack. We'll see you there. Put in your name and email on the left of this video, to the right of this video, to the right, put in your name and email. You'll get an invite. We'll see you there. Talk to you soon.